You ever buy a plant thinking, how hard could it be? And 2 weeks later, you're holding brown leaves, wondering where it all went wrong? Yeah, me too. Some houseplants are drama queens. One wrong move and they'll throw a fit curl up, drop leaves, or just straight up die on you. But here's the thing. When you do figure them out, when the light hits just right and the humidity's on point, they're stunning. Like jaw-dropping, Instagram-worthy kind of beautiful. So today I'm showing you 9 houseplants that are kind of difficult, kind of picky, but absolutely worth the struggle. Yeah, they'll test your patience. But if you're up for the challenge, these green divas will reward you in ways that easy plants just don't. Let's get into it, because the struggle is real, but the payoff? Totally worth it. First up is Elephant's Iran Man. This plant does not play around. It wants exactly what it wants, and if it doesn't get it, it'll let you know real quick. We're talking tropical jungle vibes here, which means it craves high humidity, warm temps, and bright but indirect light. Miss a watering schedule or let the air get too dry, and those massive, dramatic leaves, they'll droop like they just got bad news. Plus, it's super sensitive to overwatering, so you're always dancing on that fine line between dry soil tantrums and root rot. But when it's happy, oh, it goes full diva in the best way. Towering leaves that look like they belong in a rainforest, catching the light like giant pieces of living art. It turns any room into a lush, exotic escape. Sure, it's high maintenance, but when it flourishes, it's one of those plants that stops people in their tracks and makes the work feel totally worth it. Moth Orchid is one of those plants that looks elegant and effortless until you actually try to keep it alive. It's like the supermodel of the houseplant world. Gorgeous, but secretly high maintenance. It needs just the right balance of filtered light and steady humidity. And don't even think about overwatering it. Those roots will rot faster than you can say what went wrong. You've also got to be patient, because once the blooms fall off, it goes into this awkward phase where it looks like a sad stick in a pot. But here's the thing. If you hang in there, treat it right, and resist the urge to toss it, it'll bloom again, and when it does, it's magical. Long, delicate stems, vibrant flowers that look like they were painted by hand, and a vibe that makes your space feel instantly more refined. It's a bit of a puzzle, but once you figure it out, it rewards you with pure elegance that's worth every fussy step. Tradescantia might look like an easygoing, colorful trailing plant, but don't be fooled, it's got attitude. This one wants bright, indirect light, or it'll start fading faster than your favorite old jeans. And water? It wants consistency, not soaking. Too dry, and it gets crispy. Too wet, and the stems go mushy on you. Plus, it grows super fast, which sounds great until you realize it can get leggy and weird looking if you don't trim it regularly, kind of like a haircut that got out of hand. But here's the deal. When you nail the care, this plant absolutely shines. Vibrant purples, silvers, and greens spilling out of a pot or hanging basket like a living waterfall of color. It brings energy to any room and just feels alive. Tradescantia makes you work a little, sure, but that wild, bold payoff is more than worth the extra attention. Fiddle-Leaf Fig is basically the moody celebrity of the plant world. Gorgeous, dramatic, and totally unpredictable. You move it an inch, it drops a leaf. You water it a little too much or too little, another leaf gone. It demands bright, indirect light, but will freak out if it gets blasted with direct sun. Drafty window? It's mad. Humidity too low? It's mad. Breathe near it the wrong way? Still mad. But when it's happy, man, it makes a statement. Tall, glossy, violin-shaped leaves that give your space a bold architectural vibe like nothing else. It instantly turns any corner into a magazine cover. It's definitely not for beginners, but if you're up for the challenge and willing to learn its language, it'll reward you with stunning growth and major bragging rights. Owning a thriving Fiddle-Leaf Fig feels like unlocking some secret plant boss level. Boston Fern is the ultimate humidity snob that wants that rainforest air, not your dry living room. The moment the air gets too dry, it starts shedding like it's going through a breakup. You'll find little green bits all over the floor and start questioning your life choices. It's not just the air either. This thing needs consistent moisture in the soil without getting soggy, which is a tightrope walk for most plant parents. Miss one watering, crispy fronds. Overdo it? Root rot. And don't even try putting it near a heater or in a draft, it'll turn on you fast. But when you get the setup right bright, indirect light, humidity on point, soil just moist enough it explodes into this lush, green fountain of life. All those soft, feathery fronds draping over the edge of the pot, giving your space that classic, cozy jungle look. It's the kind of plant that feels like it's breathing with you. Sure, it'll keep you on your toes, but that full, vibrant green payoff is totally worth the high-maintenance routine. You just gotta treat it more like a pet than a plant. Bird's nest fern is one of those plants that looks chill at first glance, but secretly, it's got a list of demands. It hates direct sunlight too harsh, and the fronds burn. But give it too little light, and it just sits there, doing absolutely nothing. And the watering? That's a game of precision. You've got to keep the soil evenly moist, but never soggy. And whatever you do, don't pour water into the center of the plant, or it might rot from the inside out like a self-destruct button. Plus, it's a total humidity addict. If your air's dry, those wavy fronds start looking crispy and sad real fast. But when it's happy, this plant is pure jungle drama in the best way. Those glossy, bright green fronds unfurl from the middle like a slow-motion fan, giving you that lush, prehistoric look that totally transforms a space. It's a little fussy, sure, but the sculptural vibe and calming energy it brings make every bit of effort feel like a win. Gardenia is straight up a heartbreaker. It smells like heaven. Those creamy white flowers put out this rich, dreamy scent that fills a whole room, but getting it to bloom indoors? That's where the heartbreak comes in. It's ridiculously picky about everything. It wants bright, indirect light all day long. And if the temperature swings even a few degrees, it'll drop buds just to spite you. The soil has to stay moist, but never soggy. And don't forget it needs acidic soil, which means you're probably buying special mix or tweaking your watering routine. Oh, and humidity? It wants spa day levels every single day. But here's the thing. When you do get it right, and those buds open, it feels like you just unlocked some elite plant care badge. The scent, the glossy dark leaves, the delicate white flower sits, romantic, nostalgic, and totally worth the struggle. Gardenia doesn't make it easy, but when it blooms, it's pure magic. Zebra plant is one of those houseplants that looks like it belongs in a designer showroom. Bold striped leaves, dramatic shape, and when it's in bloom, that neon yellow flower spike steals the whole show. But man, this plant does not like to compromise. It needs bright, indirect light, too much sun, and the leaves scorch, too little, and the stripes start to fade. It wants consistent moisture but absolutely hates sitting in wet soil, so you're walking a tightrope with every watering. And don't even think about skipping humidity. It wants that tropical, steamy vibe all day, every day. It also doesn't like to be moved around a lot, and it'll start throwing fits if the environment changes too often. But when it's thriving, it looks like living art. Those glossy, patterned leaves and that wild yellow bloomets, a showstopper. Zebra plant might demand a 5-star treatment, but if you're willing to give it the plant equivalent of a luxury suite, it'll reward you with a look that's totally next level. The banana plant brings full-on tropical vacation energy into your home, but it's got the attitude of a diva on tour. First off, it needs a ton of light-like, sun-drenched windows or grow lights running overtime. Without that, it gets leggy and sad fast. Then there's the water situation. It wants to stay consistently moist, but not soggy, and it'll throw a fit if the soil dries out even a little. Add in its obsession with humidity and warmth, and suddenly you're trying to recreate a mini rainforest in your living room just to keep it from pouting. And don't forget the space it needs. This thing gets big fast. So unless you've got room for a leafy beast, it's going to feel cramped real quick. But when it's happy, oh man. Those huge, lush leaves fan out like green wings and instantly turn your space into a jungle dream. It's bold, beautiful, and yes, a little extra, but that's what makes the banana plant totally worth the hustle. So yeah, these plants might test your patience, your skills, and maybe even your sanity, but when they're thriving, they're absolute showstoppers. If you're up for the challenge, the reward is more than just greenery. It's a space that feels alive, bold, and seriously beautiful. Thanks for hanging out, and if you've got a favorite plant that's worth the fuss, drop it in the comments. I want to hear what you're growing.